Hey guys, welcome back to part number 6, I think it is, of my 32nd scale Trumpeter Mig-29SMT build. So this part here is all about the painting. So as you can probably see just in the corner right here, she's painted, just ready to go for clear coat and decals and then start weathering. So I'm going to talk you through the painting stage, what I did, products I used, and that kind of stuff. It went down really well. I'm really happy how it turned out. I did have an issue with one of the MRP paints. We'll talk about it in a minute when I switch the camera. But overall, yeah, really good. It looks a little complicated, the scheme, but it's actually pretty easy to do. So here's the markings again. You get this really nice kind of big color call-out sheet. And very detailed all panel lines and stuff on here. So it was pretty straightforward because it kind of obviously matches with the aircraft model. So in terms of masking, you can see where it's very easy to see where they start, where they end, that kind of stuff. So to mask it, all straight lines, so it was relatively straightforward. Just a little bit of time consuming and patience to get it all done. So how I did it was, we'll talk about the detail in a minute, but I basically started with the light grey first on the underside and the upper, and then I masked that off, and then I did the light green grey, then masked that off, and then finally left me with the chunks for the dark green grey, which I sprayed last. After that, I went through and did all the detail stuff afterwards. So that was pretty much it. Two options, A and B. It's exactly the same aircraft, just one's number 20 and one's number 21. The markings on that's exactly the same. So I think I'll probably go maybe 21. That's it. Yeah, so masking wise, just use the old Tamiya tape. I go in, like I said, straight lines, so it's pretty easy. So I went in with a 6mm, the smaller one first, and then rather than using tons of stuff which is a little bit expensive, I just use the old painter's tape from Home Depot, cheap stuff, I think it's like $2-3 a roll. And before I put it down, I make sure that when I take the piece I need, just de-tack it a couple of times on my skin or my pants or whatever, just to take off the stickiness and take the paint away. Unfortunately, the MRP paint's pretty good. They dry quick, and yeah, now it's finished, and no problems at all with masking. Didn't tear any paint away or anything, so this did work pretty good. So again, I use this stuff for the detail, and then yeah, just cheap stuff just to fill it in, the other gaps. So that's it. So let me switch the camera down and let me show you where we're at and kind of talk you through what we did. Okay, here she is. Hard to get this on camera because it's such a big lump, but you can see there, take the canopy off, kind of see it a little better there. So 3-tone splinter camo in the grey-green kind of color scheme. Yeah, really happy how it turned out. The only issues I had really was on the lower side. You can see there's a few kind of imperfections and stuff in here, but I'm actually going to use that to my advantage. Well, firstly, the pylons are going to cover most of this up, and secondly, this will be weathering, so I'll just weather this in with some oils and stuff, and you're not going to notice it by the time the panel line washes on and stuff. So, started with the underside in the light grey, which is MRP 284. Now, I had problems with this, as you can see it on the other side here. I had really hard problems with coverage on this one. So MRP are known to kind of have some coverage problems with certain colors, mostly greens. But I did have an issue with this one. It took me a lot to get it covered, maybe 4 or 5 coats to get it to cover the primer. Just didn't cover very well at all. You see, I got through the whole bottle on the underside and the top. These aren't cheap either. These are about $7-8. So I managed to get most of the I got pylons done, and I kind of 1 coat for landing gear doors, but they probably need another coat. I'm not going to go ahead and spend $8 just for the doors, so I'm just going to kind of make a custom mix. It's a pretty, maybe it's kind of close to the light ghost gray, so maybe I'll start there and kind of do some mixing and get it kind of close. Again, once the washes on and weathering and stuff, it's all going to blend in. So yeah, so I started with this guy, like I said, underside, then I clear coated it with LP9, the gloss lacquer clear, which is my favorite clear. So that sealed it in, so I don't want to get a lot of scratches and stuff on the bottom while I was working, handling it. So once that dried for about a day, I moved on the top side. So the top side was a little bit easier. Well, with light grey first, I kind of using the color callouts. I kind of looked roughly where the light grey parts were, and just kind of sprayed those areas and went a little bit wider. I didn't spray the whole upper side, just kind of where the pieces were. This stuff dries really quick, almost a touch within minutes. So I actually just left it like a few hours, and then I masked it up as I mentioned earlier, used the Tamiya masking tape, masked up the pattern, and I kind of hit all the blue, and then sprayed on the next color, which was the light green gray MRP 287. This color, so I sprayed this color on, again, to kind of using instructions and kind of following roughly kind of where it went. And then once that was dry, actually I did that yesterday, left it dry overnight, and then this morning I masked up the light green gray for the last color, which is a dark green gray, which was MRP 288. So this guy then, I masked it up, and it just left me basically the sections which were the dark color. So I sprayed the dark color, and that pretty much gave you the camo color. After that, there's some touch-ups. I painted the nose and on the tail, top of the tails with what did I use? I used XF24 dark gray, and I think these guys look on each side too. I think I used dark gray also for the top, this kind of radar panel right here, and I used dark iron XF84 for the panel of the gun, the cannon. And then there's a couple of small bits of black, just trim on the stabilizers, a little bit of black there, and also tiny little bit at the top of each of the tails. I just use my usual black, rubber black LP85. Then, so I painted all the three colors, and it just looks a little bright and a little kind of out there. I know I'm gonna weather it and wash it and stuff. It just seemed a little too bright, so I dulled it down. So what you see now is I took each, well, I just used, obviously I'm out of the light color, but on the two dark colors, I just took each one and kind of basically kind of lightened it up using some white. Now this stuff is like water, it's very thin, so it took me almost 50-50 to knock it off a shade, which is a lot of white. But so really it kind of 50 of this, and it kind of knocked it down a little bit. And then I basically sprayed in all the panels with the lighter shade, and it gives you more of a muted kind of faded look. And then I did the same with the dark green gray as well. Again, mix it about 50-50 with the white. And it gave me kind of the look I wanted. So it kind of, again, just sprayed in center panels and randomly, and it gives you that kind of off color, faded kind of look, which these aircraft have. Also painted like the fuel tank. You can kind of see the coverage. It barely covers it very good, but the fuel tank is going to be real dirty anyway, so I kind of happy way it looks. You see a lot of the pre-shading for it. Once it's washed and everything, it's going to look good. And so obviously goes center tank, and also painted the pylons. As you remember that I magnetized them, so they're just going to sit on magnets. So that's pretty much the painting. Oh, and the thing mentioned is at the back here, I started painting the metal part at the back, the exhaust nozzles. This was just using Alclad jet exhaust color. That's pretty much it. Excuse the bent pylon antennas and static discharges and stuff. I broke pretty much all of them off or bent them all, so I have to fix that later. But yeah, so this is kind of how it looks. I turn it around so you can kind of see the other sides. So from here, it's been drying for about 3 or 4 hours, so it's pretty much dry already. I'm just gonna give it a little bit more. And then before I go to bed, I'm gonna hit it with the LP9 on the upper side to seal it all in and leave it overnight to dry. So I used this gloss clear for 2 reasons. Firstly, to seal my paintwork in, to protect it. Then also it creates a nice smooth surface to add the decals on, it helps silvering. And finally, thirdly, it's great for washing. When I add my panel line wash, I always gloss so it comes right off. So I don't really want a lot of the wash on the panels. I want just in the panel lines. So yeah, so you'll see my next video. So basically what I'll do is I'll clear coat it, leave it overnight to dry. Add the decals, then I'll clear coat it again with the same stuff, over the decals, just to seal all the decals in onto the model. Then add my wash, take my wash off. Then I'm going to add a matte coat, and then I'll go in and add all the oils to finish it off. But you'll see that in my next part. So yeah, so looking really good right now. Really happy how it's turning out. That's the paint work done. My next video will be the weathering. So when you switch back in the next few days, I should have the decals on, and I'll start to do some of the weathering and kind of show you some of my weathering techniques. It's going to look better once the panel line washes on. It's going to really kind of tie it all together. I know it's a lot of time when you're using these blocky kind of splinter schemes, the colors will look very kind of separated and looks very out there. But once you have that wash and the panel lines, it brings it all together and it makes it all combined to one. Makes it a huge difference to the actual overall look of the aircraft. So it's going to look a lot different. So yeah, any questions always just let me know. Happy to help. And again, really loving this kit. It's turning out great. Happy how the paintwork went on. And yeah, so okay, what I'll do is I'll finish the video now, and before I waffle too much, and then next time, like I said, next time we'll talk about the weathering. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.